Mr. Burnett, my next question is one of a serious nature. It appears that the board that oversees jails has questioned numerous policies at the Richmond City jails. The one in particular that I'm referring to is the 30-minute check-ins.
Yeah, very, very crucial. One of the most important checks any organization when it comes to relations with inmate safety.
Right.
They have to be done. If they're not done, this is how we're finding people in jails unconscious, needing assistance, having questions, concerns. So if we don't make these checks, if we don't make those rounds, then you have a situation where you might find someone expired. So it's very important, very critical that we do these checks. When I was at the sheriff's office, one of the things that we did when we first took office is we put an electronic system in place where, as a deputy assigned to that pod, you had to go and hit certain points in the jail to make sure that you were making your rounds. So we were able to calculate that a person had actually gone through and not skipped around. We also had books in place on every pod. We made sure that we had a book. After they made their rounds inside the jail, then they had to come back and sign the book, sign it, date, time, and that gave us a log of a round being checked. We further had a backup with the cameras. And if a deputy said they made a check and they didn't make it, I was able to do audits, and I would do them ahead of DOC coming in doing the inspection. I had my own inspection team, and we would go ahead of DOC and make sure we did an audit to make sure that these rounds were being done. So we would randomly pull books and we'd look at the cameras, and if he said he made the check at this time, we'd turn around and check the camera. If you didn't, if that didn't match, they didn't coincide together, then we took that very serious, and it was some discipline, put in place behind that. Because again, this is when we have a facility where drugs are being brought into the jail, they're being smuggled into the jail, they're being brought into the jail. When you have this culture that people are dying from it, and you have a pattern of people dying from it, it's more critical that we make these checks and we make them correctly. We can't falsify documents and say that we done something and we didn't do it. So, it's just a matter of not saying that we got to do something new. It's already in place. Right. We just need to do it.
Simply have to follow the procedures that are already in place.
Right.
Seems to be SOP anyway, standard operational procedures.
That's right.
But you have the checks and the balances. We got the camera, like I said, the technology to follow up with it. Mm-hmm. When you see these occurrences steadily happen, and we see deaths and people who have drug overdoses, that clearly tells you that these procedures are not being followed. Am I correct?
Absolutely not. You can't, and that's the thing about it, and Connie can tell you this, we can tell when a person expires. We can almost pinpoint the time. So when you find a person that's that expired hours ago, that tells you that somebody ain't making no checks, because
Correct.
That person should have been found. So it's not a matter of reinventing the wheel, just a matter of following the procedures that you have in place. I will say this again, we talk about staffing, but in order to make sure these rounds are being done, you got to increase the staffing, but you got to keep people, you got to retain people, you can't run people off. You got to make sure that the people that you are hiring are the correct people as well. So it's not, like I said, it's not a reinventing the wheel, it's just a matter of doing the proper procedures and following what you have set standard by the state of Virginia.
Thank you.